Greetings, friends. C. Michael Smith here. I'm a psychologist and shamanic teacher, and I'm interviewing my friend Aion Farvahar, who's a certified IFS practitioner and also psychoshamanic practitioner. And the topic today is soul loss and recovery. And before I introduce Aion's statements on this, I just wanted to mention my own, that in the classic view, the shaman is looking for something that seems to be missing in the person that should be present. And this is usually expressed as soul loss or energy loss, sort of thing. And some shamanic practitioners today, the neo-shamanic school, speaks of soul part loss. But basically, this is when there's been a trauma or there's been an accident or a severe injury or a shock. Parts of us can go offline, and the shamans say they go into the other world. The depth psychologists say they go into the unconscious somewhere, maybe even the collective unconscious. But the thing is that they are detached from the active participation in one's life. And there's a sense of loss or vitality that's missing. And there's also sometimes very depressed or ashamed or otherwise weak personality that seems to be present. So I want to ask you, Aion, how you view soul loss and how you view soul recovery from your IFS perspective.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Mikkal. It's a pleasure to be here. And just in the way of introduction, as Mikkal said, I'm Aion Farvahar. I've been working with Mikkal. Mikkal has been my elder for 3 years, and I've been a part of a Crow's Nest community here in Michigan. So it's been a pleasure to have you as my elder.
That's great.
Yeah, I think this is the concept of soul loss is really very central in the healing process, and also being familiar with IFS and the way IFS basically presents personality parts or sub-personalities that are holding specific beliefs or emotions. Most of the time, these beliefs and emotions are negative or negating. Doesn't allow us to really manifest the life that we all want. Or follow our inspirations. And the same way that we look at the parts from a IFS perspective, from the psychoshamanic perspective, we could look at that part as a part of the soul. And
right.
This is not the IFS really view, but it's my personal view that the part of the soul essentially separates as a personality to hold that energy, whatever that negative emotions it has to do with some attachment that was lost when we were little, or any kind of traumatic event that happened and had a bad influence on us. And a part of our soul is just separates to be with that part that holds that emotions, so we can move on and we can live the life that is ahead of us. And I can talk about the healing that happens in the psychoshamanic sense and IFS sense, but there is a very much similarity between IFS parts and the psychoshamanic perspectives of soul loss.
Thank you. Yes. IFS stands for Internal Family Systems, and was developed by Richard Schwartz some 25, 30 years ago. And it's become quite a hot movement in the psychotherapy and counseling professions. And I benefited from it. And one of the things that happened in terms of my own ongoing care of self that I do is check for any unhealed parts or upset parts in me to see what's going on. And about a year ago, I was recalling an old traumatic memory. I've worked on many years in psychotherapy, with different therapists even, and also did shamanic soul retrieval and that sort of thing. But the thing was, every time I remembered it, I would still get upset. So I thought, well, why this time not go in there from the IFS perspective and ask that part if it wants to come out of the memory? Because I had a feeling that the memory is like a virtual reality that the part is living in. It's like another dimension. And it's a very sad dimension in my case, and probably in most people's cases that have had trauma. So in that case, I was a 5-year-old boy. I was hiding in the bedroom, fearing abuse, fearing harm. And that's where I found that 5-year-old every time I checked on it. And so on this particular occasion, I decided to ask it, would you like to come back? And it said yes. I said, you can live right here in my heart, and I keep you close. And immediately it came back, and I welcomed it in, and then I kind of rocked it as if I'm rocking my body and comforted it. And I keep pretty frequent contact with it even now, and it seems very happy. And the interesting thing is there's no more sadness or anger that comes now when I recall this incident or think about this part. I wonder if you have any comments on that or make some other observations.
First of all, it's so beautiful. I mean, and thanks for sharing. I had similar parts, and it's really an honor to see how you actually reached out to him. The issue that we have is that our parts are getting frozen. As the soul lost, they're actually frozen in that state of time. So no matter how wise we are and how accomplished in life and experienced we become, they're still in that state of time. And what you did is really just updated this part of you, which was still thinking you were 5.
Yes.
And you didn't have that protection it desired at that time. He decided at that time. But then you updated him. Essentially, you brought that soul part or soul lost part of you back. You reintegrated with your bigger soul or the self in greater sense, either IFS level self or to a certain degree to the Jungian self. So you become more complete. And that healing happened because you all need to bring these parts back to our center. That's the ultimate goal of life, because we lose these parts of us in these experiences. And now we want them to come back home. We want to come back to the center. So that's how beautiful.
I like that image of coming back home and welcoming them back and loving them back. I love it up all the time, and it really likes it, and I like it, So it's nice. Well, Aion, I want to thank you for this brief discussion. We'll come back and discuss some more about IFS and soul loss and recovery. But for now, we'll just share your contact information is celestialtwin.com.
That's my website.
Is that twin with no S? Twin?
No S. Celestial twin is another word for daimon or
guardian spirit.
Guardian spirit, right.
Yeah.
CelestialTwin.com, that's my website, and I have a YouTube channel, Celestial Twin Life Mentorship.
Great. You can find me at cmichaelsmith.com or crowsnestshamanism.com.